All right, good morning. Happy Monday. This is the 5th week of school. It's really hard to believe that we're already in week 5. And we've spent the last 4 weeks talking about finding unit rate and constant proportionality and writing equations and how to use that to create graphs and discover answers to problems that we're given. And we are going to continue on with proportionality and moving towards percents and finding percents of different items. So I'm going to go ahead and share. And what I am sharing with you is actually from your notes page for today. So I'm just going to go over what is on your notes that you are supposed to be adding, and I realized I forgot to tell you where to add it. I'll let you know that whenever we're done with this. So modeling percents. When modeling percents, you have to consider if you're calculating the percent of a number, a percent increase, or a percent decrease. And remember that percents are just a number out of 100. So if we were to write it as a fraction, let's say 50%, we would put 50 over 100 as a fraction, or a decimal point, 0.5, or a fraction, or another fraction, 1/2. All of those mean 50%. So a percent, I did not calibrate this. So a percent increase. We're going to take a look at that first. So a percent increase, you might see what is the total with tax? What is the total with tip or even gratuity? Gratuity and tip are the exact same thing. So if you see gratuity, you know you're doing a percent increase. And markup. Markup tells us we're looking for a percent increase. Decrease, you might see total after a discount. So if we're talking about a discount, that means the cost is decreasing. Sale price, again, that tells us the cost is decreasing. And mark down, again, percent decrease. And lastly, percent of. So this first one, if it says just tax, just tip, just discount, we don't want to know the total with tax or the total after discount. We want to know what just that percentage of the cost is. Fee or commission is also a percent of, and finding part of the whole is a percent of. So we're going to look at 3 different examples of this, one for a percent increase, one for decrease, and one for percent of. And we're going to talk about how to model these using a bar model. So here we see our 3, and I already went ahead and sectioned off my bars, just so you can see what this looks like. And our first one says, a couch priced at $300 is on sale for 40% off. What is the sale price of the couch? So on my bar model, I know that 0 is going to be on one end of my bar, and that 300 is going to be on the other end, because 300 is the price of the couch. And on the bottom side, you can see I have my percents. So again, 0 is going to match up to 0. And 100% is going to be with 100, because 300 is 100% of the cost of the couch. And now I have to decide how I'm going to divide up my bar model. So I could divide it into chunks of 10, because I know that 10 divides evenly into 100. I choose to go chunks of 20. I could do 25, whatever is makes the most sense for me. So I did 20%, because I know I can divide 100 by 5 and get 5 chunks of 20, and I can divide 300 evenly by 5s. So when I divide 300 by 5s, each chunk is going to be $60. So the first chunk here is $60. $60 all the way across. And on the bottom side, each chunk is 20%. So far on the, any questions about why I divided it the way I did? Okay. Now I'm going to go up into my word problem, and it said it's on sale for 40% off.
Right now?
And I remember from up here that
I know, but
sale price is a decrease.
I swear, teach me.
So we're going backwards from 100.
Like you give me.
And how or what percent are we going backwards? What percent are we decreasing by? Read the word problem. What percent are we decreasing by?
I'm just listening. I'm not gonna write anything. I want to listen.
3%.
All
right, if I have chunks of 20, how many chunks of 20 do I need to shade in? How many 20% chunks do I need to shade in to equal 40%? 2. So I'm going to start with this last one here, and I'm going to shade this in, and that's 20% off. And I'm going to shade one more, and that is 40% off, because 20 plus 20 equals 40. So if I see what number is here, here's my percentage, and here is my cost. So a couch that is $300 and on sale for 40% off is going to cost me now $180. Any questions about how I found that number? Hi, Yaneli, I didn't see that you signed on. Let me see here, did anybody else sign on? Oh, yep, I have Samuel too. Good morning, Samuel. All right, let's look at another one. A pair of jeans priced at $20 are subject to a 5% sales tax. How much are the jeans? So I need to decide, are we looking for the total with tax or just the tax? What is our question asking us to find? The total of the jeans with the tax or just the amount of tax? Let's read the question again. $20, 5% sale tax. How much are the jeans? Okay. So we want to know the amount with the tax. So how much I'm going to pay. So that is a percent increase. Okay. If it had said, how much tax would you pay? Then we know we're looking for a percent up. But since it says how much are the jeans, that tells me we're doing an increase. So again, I took my bar model and I have 0 and 0, so $0 is 0%. And all the way on the other end, I have 20 and 100%. Because $20 is the total cost of the jeans before tax. And I know I'm doing a percent increase, which means I have to go past 100% to figure out the total cost. So I went through, and for me, since it's 5%, it made more sense to do by tens on this one. So 10%, 20%. So 10% of 20 is $2. So I'm counting by twos on the top. And I'm going to add another 10%. Because I know I'm going to have it at least, or I'm going to be somewhere in between here. So another 10% would be 110%. And if I'm adding another 10%, I have to add another $2 at the end. So my total is going to be somewhere between $20 and $22 because I know that 5% is half of 10%, right? So 5%, I'm going to cut this last one in half, and this is going to be 105% because that's my 5% sales tax added to my 100%. And I need to decide what number is halfway between 20 and 22. So what number is halfway between 20 and 22? 21. So with sales tax, those jeans are going to cost me $21. Any questions about that one?
No, miss, no. Okay, yeah, okay.
Last example.
He has
On a test of 40 questions,
$80 because it's 64.
Heather answered 80% of them correctly. How many questions did she get correct? So this one we are finding a percent of. Is somebody's mic on?
No, miss.
Besides mine. Looks like it is.
Oh.
So we're finding a percent of, because we want to know what 80% of 40 questions is. Are you asking a question about the problem, Monica, or about your mic being on? Okay, yeah, I checked. Yours wasn't on. It's okay. All right, so again, on the left side of my bar model, I have 0 questions, 0%. And all the way to the right, we had 40 questions total, which is 100%. So if she got 40 questions right, she would have got 100% on the test. We want to know 80%. So again, I could have broke this into 10% chunks. I chose 20%. So across the bottom, I have 5 sections. Each chunk is 20% of the test. And since I divided by 5 here, I divided 40 by 5 to figure out what I would be counting by. So I'm counting by 8s. 8, 16, 24, 32, and then finally 40. We're looking for 80% correct. So how many chunks of 20% do I need to shade in? 4, because 4 times 20 is 80. So I'm going to shade in this. So she got at least 8 questions. She got at least 16, at least 24, and finally, when I shade in the 4th one, it tells me she got how many questions correct? 32. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So when you're working through these problems, it will be helpful if you are making your bar models and setting them up like this. You do have some practice problems in the notes page. Let me quick sharing this screen. And let me find this. So on your notes page, if I zoom in, here are the 3 questions we just did together if you need to review and see how they were done. And then you have 5 you do questions in your notes that you're going to do the exact same way we just worked through the 3 on the board. Okay? When you're done with that, you do have an assignment that has 4 more. Okay? You work through them the exact same way. To draw on here and on your notes, you can use the line tool here to draw your lines to section off your bar graph or your bar model. Your text box you can add in to type the numbers to show the interval values for each section of your bar model. And then if you want to color in, you can either use the scribble here and it'll let you draw a squiggly line, or you can click in each section and try to fill the color in with the paint. That is completely up to you how you want to do that, as long as I see that your answer is labeled clearly. All right. And then when you're done with that, you do have 2 Desmos problem or assignments to do. They are just a few questions that work you through how to find percents, okay, with different models. Any questions about any of the assignments for today? I know it's a lot today, but probably move through them pretty quickly. All right. If there are no questions, excuse me, you can go ahead and get to work.